Peter Parker was straight up cooking the bootleg Guardians of the Globe. Like, how do you guys come back for round number 2 and still manage to get folded? And what do you actually gain from hunting down a 16-year-old? Like, go fill out a job application or something. There's 6 of y'all, grown-ass men. But before we start the video, I'ma spawn in a spirit bomb and make every single one of you guys to smash that subscribe button so that we can hit 20k subs and so that you guys don't miss any more Spider-Man content. So the scene kicks off with New York City being absolutely terrorized by Electro as he starts yelling for Spider-Man to come out of the shadows and reveal himself. Like, the Sinister Six really took no days off. They even pulled up to run the fade on Christmas Eve. Like, why aren't y'all spending time with your family? Where is your dad? Where is your mom? Where is your family? Spider-Man finally appears and he webs Electro, then hops into the air and proceeds to dodge a few more of Electro's blasts by maneuvering himself with his spider webs. But then Peter's spidey senses really took a day off of work because he gets met with a double leg kick from Vulture, forcing him to recover by swinging onto the skating rink. Wait, hold on. Is it just Vulture and Electro? Because if it's only them that I'm fighting, this will all be over in 5 minutes. This is really free eats for me.
Stop the cap.
And this is the wrong time to be thinking, especially in the middle of combat. Like, yo, Spider-Man has to get his head in the game cause he gets blasted in the chest by Electro's beam, sending him to the floor. And then Electro gets all confident talking smack over Spider-Man's body. But I don't know why he's running his mouth considering how this fraud got done in their last fight. Like, I guarantee you if Electro was alone, he would not be acting this tough. Like, you give a regular civilian some superpowers and they start acting like they run the entire planet. But this is where Electro crosses the line because not only does he electrocute Peter Parker's friends, but he shocks Mary Jane and Liz. And that right there would be enough for me to crash out because the #1 rule is to stay away from Peter Parker's snow bunnies. Like, she is very gorgeous to me. So Spider-Man does a Duke Dennis front flip and then he grabs Electro's leg and says, "Sit your ass down." And then Spider-Man swings himself onto the Christmas tree and then wraps Vulture around with his spider webs. And you could tell by Vulture's face that he was mad angry. I mean, shoot, I would be mad too if I looked like Gru from Despicable Me with that long ass nose. And Electro sees an opportunity to free up Vulture and he really shot a beam at the Christmas tree and said, "You know what, that's a great idea." But all this idiot does is break down the tree and Vulture was straight up getting traumatized. My boy was hitting the
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
So Flash pushes Liz out of the way and then he looks into the sky and sees a gigantic Christmas tree that's about to turn him into Flat Stanley, like that one kid from Spider-Man 1. But then Peter swings in and saves Flash by dropping him off at a rooftop. And I'm convinced that Flash is working for the Sinister Six because peep how he intentionally distracts Spider-Man by telling him to sign his cast. And then the very next second he gets shot point blank by Electro. Like, use your common sense. My guy Flash planned that entire sequence. Like, him bullying Peter Parker at school should have already been a clear red flag. So after a bit of running away from Electro, his plan becomes successful because Spider-Man's main goal was to get Electro off of the ice so that he can go take on each member of the Sinister Six at one time. So they finally arrive outside of a little warehouse and Spider-Man starts hopping around to dodge Electro's blast, but then he starts slipping and falling on the tires. Like, bro, how are you this clumsy? You've been Spider-Man for a good couple months now, but you're out here moving like it's your first time inside of that suit. Spider-Man starts kicking a bunch of tires at Electro, but this man's awareness level is on 0 because Electro doesn't realize that the tires that he's melting are being stuck under his feet. Like, this is really a 9 to 5 to Spider-Man. This is easy money because he stacks a bunch of tires on Electro, making him unable to move his body around. And Spider-Man must have forgot that the Sinister Six were fiending to get their get back after how he squad wiped them. I know that nasty jail food was getting to them. I would be plotting something too if a kid sent me to jail and had me eating beans. Like, they didn't even give Spider-Man a breather because they straight up sneak him with a punch and then we see Sandman and Rhino make their appearance. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, get them off of my screen. They got packed up like 5 times. I don't know why they haven't retired yet. Like, give up. Spider-Man gets tossed across the warehouse and gets slammed into a car, and then Rhino starts dashing at Spider-Man, only for him to go through his legs. And bro, what is this man Rhino aiming at? He must be seeing Casper the Ghost because I don't see anything except straight air. Like, nah, who even invited my man's Rhino onto the team? This man is worse than Hawkeye. He literally has no abilities. He's good at nothing. He's really just just a person inside of a Rhino cosplay. So right as Spider-Man is about to grapple onto a lamppost, he gets jump scared by Sandman, and then they start disrespecting Spider-Man by smacking him around and sending him through a bus, making him roll onto the ground. Like, nah, this man Peter might be washed without that black suit. I know he was wishing for that symbiote to take over his body so that he can get those old powers back again. Spider-Man tries escaping from Rhino and Sandman, and this dude really tried talking it out with two of the most dangerous villains. Like, you should already know that if you're a superhero and you're trying to inflict the opponent with a subtle speech, 99% of the time that's not gonna work. The only solution is really to throw hands to resolve the issue. And Sandman heard what Spider-Man just said, and he was like, ain't nobody got time for that, cause he hits him with a Will Smith special, making him eat the concrete. And bro, look at the finesse on that slap. This is a 16-year-old kid. There's no reason for you to be charging it up from that far. Like, this has to be child abuse, cause boy, ain't no way. Rhino starts giving Spider-Man the Loki treatment, just straight up banging his body against the ground, and that right there must have channeled something inside of Peter Parker. So he takes a step back, and then right as Sandman is about to sneak up behind Spider-Man, he gets disintegrated by the water that's coming from the fire hydrant, and Rhino saw that and was not gonna let that slide. Rhino rushes at Spider-Man only for him to get smacked in the face by a fire extinguisher, and then he hops over to Spider-Man and gets sunk under the ice and into the water with his rod wave sized body. I already know the ice was fighting for its life to stay together, but it just couldn't. Sandman appears out of nowhere and pummels Spider-Man with his fist, and then he teleports behind him and tries smashing Spider-Man with his hammer, but he hits a clean backflip into a double weave. And at this point, I could already see the writing on the wall. It was looking rough for Sandman because he was getting slowed down from the cold weather, so there wasn't really anything he could do. Spider-Man jumps on his shoulder and then uses the tree to free Sandman using the snow from the branches, and it's about dang time he packed them up. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you guys, it took Spider-Man like a good 15 minutes to get rid of them. If he had that opium Playboy Cardi suit, it would have been much faster. But anywho, since Spider-Man just took out 2 members of the Sinister Six, he has 4 more remaining. And before we get into the best part of the video, if you guys can do me a small little favor and hit that subscribe button if you made it this far, that would be appreciated. So Spider-Man sees Shocker and Doc Ock standing on top of a building, so he tries going in for a kick, but he should have already knew it was fake. I knew it. But this was all an illusion because Kraven pops out of nowhere and smacks Spider-Man straight onto the pavement. And look at how his back bounced off of the ground. Like, there's no way Spider-Man is fine after that. What is this plot armor? Like, him getting back up is pure nerves and emotion. This man fell like 50 feet from the air. And now Kraven and Mysterio roll up on Spider-Man, wanting nothing but straight smoke. And I'ma be honest, Kraven can throw hands. Like, let's not forget how he almost ended Peter's entire career right before this. But Mysterio on the other hand, I don't know if I can say the same for him, cause that man is trash. He's a liability to the Sinister Six. Like, he's really just taking up space on the squad. He's like that one group member that's a part of your project only cause the teacher said so. Then Spider-Man tries hiding behind a billboard that has J. Jonah Jameson on it. Like, knowing how much of a hater he is, that man probably has secret cameras hiding inside of his eyes to track down Spider-Man. So Kraven immediately body tackles Spider-Man, and then he starts holding him like how Cell did to Gohan, just straight up strangling Spider-Man with all his body force. Then Spider-Man proceeds to web Kraven in the face, and then he leaves the scene by crashing himself inside of a shopping mall. And bro, the Sinister Six really didn't let Peter catch any breaks because Kraven suddenly appears. Like, nah, imagine working your 9 to 5 at the mall on Christmas Eve and seeing a 7-foot lion and a human spider fighting each other. But if you think about it, this is really a normal day in New York City. This happens on a daily basis. We really got a kaiju lizard on the loose and a goblin psychopath flying around on a hover pad. It really doesn't get more crazier than that. So Spider-Man hits a clean duck down dodge and then grabs a perfume and smashes it against his face. And I know Kraven's eyes are fuming like crazy right now. My guy was shaking like he ain't ever feel pain like this in his life. Then Mysterio comes to help Kraven, and then he spawns in some bats out of nowhere. Like, yo, where did he even pull them out from? This man can really pull out bats on demand whenever he wants. What kind of tomfoolery is this? this? And Spider-Man was tired of Mysterio spamming the same move over and over again, so he webs the bats and makes them spin like a fidget spinner and then tosses it at Mysterio. But then this man literally teleports onto the second floor, and peep how there are absolutely no security guards in sight. Like, they really saw all this madness going on and called it a night and said, we're not gonna deal with all this. The $10 per hour ain't worth it. So Spider-Man goes to swing in at Mysterio, but he gets intercepted by Kraven, and we see that there are actually two Mysterios, meaning that the real one is on the first floor and that the other one next to Kraven is a bot. So right before the fake Mysterio is about to explode, Spider-Man swings in to save some people, only for Kraven to get team killed by Mysterio. Like, getting killed by your own teammate is insane. This man Kraven was so overpowered that the writer said that if Spider-Man isn't gonna kill him, then we will. So to end it all off, Peter somehow webs Mysterio, who was invisible, so he unmasks himself like it's a Scooby-Doo episode. And then Spider-Man starts pressing Mysterio, just asking him who the master planner behind all of this is, but then he proceeds to say the most corniest crap I've ever heard.
Maybe the master planner has a master plan?
Man, you corny!
So yeah, that's the end of the video, and if you guys enjoyed and want more spectacular Spider-Man content, make sure to smack that subscribe button if you made it to the very end. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning into the video, but I'ma see y'all later. I'm out.